G'day everyone, welcome back to the channel and welcome back to another one of my EV realist videos. In this series I seek to inject a little bit of sanity into the hysteria that's surrounding the transition to EV cars. So if you like this kind of content, it'd be great if you drop a like, subscribe and hit that notification bell, as it really helps feed the algorithm. So in this video, we're going to talk about something I mentioned in my last video, which I wanted to expand on a little bit because I think it's absolutely fundamental to the acceptance of EVs and the practicality of EVs. And I think this particular problem is going to put so many people off. It's going to make transitioning the entire fleet to EVs extremely difficult. So let's just take a look at an average filling station. This is a picture of one of my local filling stations just around the corner from here. As you can see, it's got 8 pumps which can simultaneously fill 8 vehicles. Now let's assume that each fill takes between 5 and 10 minutes. So let's take the worst case scenario and say that each fill up takes, say, 10 minutes. This means that for each pump in that filling station, it can get through 6 cars per hour. So if there are 8 pumps, then it can get through 48 cars or vehicles per hour. Now let's look at an equivalent charging station. Let's be reasonably optimistic and say that each car takes 1 hour to charge. This is taking into account the speed of the chargers, the capacity of the cars to accept fast charging rates. I mean, we could say 45 minutes. Why don't we say 45 minutes? So 45 minutes per charge. So how many chargers do we need to get through that same number of cars per hour? So if you calculate the time at the charger divided by the time at the pump, and then multiply that by the number of pumps, it will give you the equivalent number of chargers. So 45 minutes per charge divided by 10 minutes per fill, and then multiplied by 8 pumps. And if you work that out, it actually comes to 36 chargers. So for a very averagely sized local fuel station, you would need to have 36 charging points in order to get the same throughput of cars that you would with 8 regular fuel pumps. Now this problem only multiplies on large freeway service stations that might have, say, 20 pumps, for example. If we do the same calculation for a large freeway service station, you would need to replace that with 90 charging points to get the same throughput. Otherwise, you're going to have people queuing just to connect to the chargers. And this is a problem I don't think really has been addressed, because when you start to get like 90 chargers all running at maybe 150 kilowatts, not the fastest, but it is faster than a lot, and I'm being generous here to say that each car can charge in 45 minutes, then you'd have to come up with a power supply of 13.5 megawatts, which is an enormous amount of power to be consumed from the grid. I know a lot of people have said in the comments that at these kind of charging stations you'd have a huge battery pack. But when you look at the kind of infrastructure that's required to support an EV charging station, one of my viewers sent me a diagram of an EV charging station just for 6 trucks. You can see the amount of infrastructure that goes into that: batteries, chargers, transformers, cooling systems, and essentially all of that infrastructure is required just simply to replace, a big hole in the ground under a filling station, which is essentially a tank of fuel, which has as much capacity as required with very little infrastructure. And I think this is going to be a massive problem for usability of EVs, because as the number of these vehicles on our roads increases, they're going to have to start thinking about using this multiplier to work out the number of chargers. And when they start doing that, the number of chargers just become ridiculous in order to get the same kind of throughput as you do with a regular filling station. And the worst thing you can imagine is turning up to a charging station, finding all the chargers occupied and having to queue before you can even start charging. I just think it's going to put people off so much. it's going to make it very hard to convince people that EVs are the way to go. Anyway, that's just about it for this video. I really hope you enjoyed it. Thanks for watching. If you've got any tips, you can hit me up on Instagram or by email. And I look forward to seeing you in the next one. Bye for now.